Hello everyone, so today is going to be my first actual full-length exercise video for our seniors edition of exercising at home. So just follow along, take your time. If you need to pause at any point, go ahead and pause. If you find any movements are difficult, I'll give you some options. But with that out of the way, let's get started. I always like to start with some warm-up exercises that focus on range of motion, specifically for your spine and neck, so let's get started with those first. So just find yourself a comfortable space. I'd like for you to start by tucking your chin in towards your chest, tucking as far as you can, and then draw your head up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your jaw closed, so you're stretching out the muscles from your jawline down to your collarbone. Just hold that for a few deep breaths in and out. And then one more deep breath in and out. I'd like for you to tuck your chin back into your chest one more time. Hold it for just a moment. And then draw your head all the way back one last time. If at any point during this workout you can't keep your eye on the screen, of course I'm having you look up at the ceiling, just follow my instructions that I give to you with my voice, and then let go of that. I'd like for you to tuck your chin into your chest one more time, and then let your shoulders shrug forwards. Keep your palms on your thighs. Slowly let your spine flex one vertebra at a time. Inch those fingertips all the way down. You can let your knees flex a little bit, that's okay. Tuck your tailbone in. This is not traditional deadlift. Go as low as you can go. So some of you might only be able to go fairly shallow on this, and that's okay. Listen to what your body can do. And then slowly allow your spine to extend one vertebra at a time. Push the hips forwards, pull the shoulders back, tuck them down, draw the chest up, look up to the ceiling, stretch out your neck. One more time. We'll do that again. Tuck the your chin into your chest rather, pull the shoulders forwards, and let those fingertips just inch down the front of your thighs. Take your time, there's no rush here. You might feel a stretching behind your legs or in your low back, your shoulders. Slowly make your way up. Take a deep breath in. Pull the palms forward. We're going to rotate those arms externally. Pull the shoulders back and down. Draw the chest up. Draw the arms as far back as you can. Look up at the ceiling. Take one final deep breath in. And then relax. Good. I always like on my warm-ups to make sure that we're folding forward in some way. We're stretching back in some fashion. We're doing a similar movement to the side, and then we also get some rotation in. So let's start with our side bends. I want you to reach up with your arms. Now, if you've got a problem with your shoulders or some kind of frozen shoulder, you can keep your arms at your sides and follow along without the limbs, but you're going to get a little bit of a better stretch if you can get those arms up. As well, do it according to your capabilities. So some of you might only be able to bring your arms here. Some of you might be able to bring your arms all the way up or even further if you're a superstar. So do what is best for you. Regardless, try to get those limbs up. Grip the hands together. I want you to pull your right arm over to your left. And as you do so, take one deep breath in. You'll notice that I'm not reaching very far. I'm not doing much reaching at all. Actually, my spine is staying more or less where it is. I'm simply elevating or lifting one side of my body, rather than really trying to reach far or displace my balance. So let's pull our right arm over to the left, take one deep breath in, and then as you exhale that air, you're going to go back to a neutral position. And then inhale again deeply as you draw your left arm over to the right. And then exhale as you draw those arms back to the central position. Let's do that 3 times in both directions. So deep breath in, and a breath out. Deep breath in, and a breath out. This is the final time, so let's try to go a little further. Deep breath in, and a breath out. And once more, deep breath in, and a breath out. And again, if you couldn't do that with your arms overhead, you could do the same movement like this, supporting your body weight against the inside or outside of your thighs. All right? So we're going to do a fold forwards again. This time I want you to pull the tailbone back. You can let the tailbone tuck forwards or you can let it pull back. In this instance, sometimes it's good to do this, sometimes it's good to do this, sometimes it's good to be neutral. I want you to accentuate this pull back of your hip. And then I want you to push the hip back a little further. I want you to keep your spine upright for now. Put your palms on your thighs, so you've got some support if you need it, and then continue to push the tailbone and hips back. And what's going to happen is that you automatically fold forward, right? And then if you can, if you're strong enough, you can release the hands. You can reach towards the ground and bend the knees a little further, go as low as you can. For those of you who can't let go, you can just stay here while the rest of us, and just hold that position, touch the ground. We're not holding it for long. And then rise up. So we're going to use the support of our hands on our thighs to press ourselves up. I'm constantly thinking about pushing my hips forwards to rise. So what we're trying to avoid here, by the way, is to let our spine get far away from where our hips are and from where our legs are. This is a lot of strain on our low back. Even if I bend my knees, it's still a lot of needless strain. So really what I'd like for you to do is keep the ribs where they are, push the hips back, and the ribs will drop straight down on a track. And you'll have no problems with your low back here. And if you feel too much tension, as I said, just use your hands. So we're all going to do that 3 times. This is the second time. As we rise up, we take a deep breath in and push the hips forwards. If you can, rotate the arms externally, pull them as far back as you can. And then one more time, breathe out. Dip those hands down to the floor. Take your time, there's no rush. And then rise for the last time. Take a deep breath in, stretch those arms back, push the hips forward, squeeze your bum, and then release. So, that's probably a really good warm-up. So let's get started on our balance steps. I think for this one it's a good idea if you have a chair. So we're going to grab one, put it over here. I'm also going to ask that you have you could use a little pillow. This is a small foam ball. You could use anything, a yoga brick, whatever you got in your house. Like a book if you needed to. You're going to put it in between your calves, just like that. You can have it a little lower or a little higher depending on your comfort level. And then I'd ask you to put your toes out. And if you need the chair for balance, just make sure it's right there next to you. Keep your hand on it. If you feel strong enough and able enough, then you don't have to use it. We're going to raise our heels up and slowly drop the heels down. Whenever you raise the heels up, I'd like for you to rise nice and quickly. As you drop the heels, I want you to do it slowly. And while we do this, we're going to do a multiple of 7. So for those of you who've been following along with our videos that we've been editing, you haven't had to see me do this counting live, so I'm a little stressed right now. Try to follow along with me, and if I make a mistake, I hope it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. So let's try this together. 4, 0, and a slow drop. 7, and a slow drop. 14, take your time to drop. 21, drop slowly. 28, take your time. 45, 49, my camera person just gave me a funny look. 56, 63, and 70. Good. Let's do that again, counting back from 70. This time we're going to do it a lot quicker with no slow drop, just up and down. 70, 63, 56, 49, 42, 35, 28, 21, 14, 7, and 0. Got that one. All right, so you can let go of that foam ball. Hopefully your calves are feeling nice and warm by now, but I've got one more for you, and this one's a little bit more challenging for balance. I'd like for you to put one foot directly in front of the other. So my feet are not staggered. I really have one directly in front of the other. That's what makes it such a challenge. You can do this close to a chair so you can touch it if you need it. If you don't need it, just don't use it, but make sure it's there in case you need it. I'm going to start by lifting up my front toe. That's going to be our default start position. I'm going to roll this front foot flat. I'm going to raise that back heel up. That projects my body weight forwards. And then I'm going to raise the front heel as well, so I'm on the balls of both feet. I'm going to slowly reverse that order. Drop the front heel, drop the back heel, raise the front toe, and we start again. We'll do that 10 times for a count of 4, starting from 0, so multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Good. Shake those legs out. Don't take too much time. As soon as you're ready, put the other foot in front of put the right foot in front of the left foot, and we'll start again, starting with the right heel up. Follow the right foot up. Counting from 40, we're doing the count backwards. 36, 32, 28, 24, I don't know if you hear that, maybe I'll be able to edit it out, 20, it's my cat asking me to let him out. That's 16, 12, 8, 4, and 0. Good. Shake the legs out. I'm certain by now you feel like that. So I've got just a couple more movements for you before we have a seat. Take some rest. The first one is for your hips, hip strength. Definitely you'll want a chair for balance on this one. What I'm going to do is stand in front of the chair. I'm going to flex my left leg. I'm going to stand on my right leg. I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to raise the left leg out to the side, and then I'm going to rotate it as far as I can. Bring it back to the original position, tuck it in, and repeat. We'll do that 10 times, and we'll do it in a multiple of 2. I'll do this facing you so you can see from this angle. Starting from 0, 2, 4. Now, if you don't need the chair, you can try without the chair. Make sure you're close to it, though. 6. By the time you finish this, 8. You're really going to feel it in the hip on the standing leg. 12. Sorry, that was 10. 12. A lot of multitasking going on here. 14. 16. 18. And 20. So this side was definitely working to rotate internally and externally the leg, but this side was working so hard to stabilize myself, keep the hips even, and to balance. So it works both sides differently, but simultaneously. Let's do the same thing on the next leg. So stand on your left leg, flex the right knee. Let's draw this knee up and out to the side, starting from 20, 18, 16. Now if you're doing this without a chair for support, 14. You can do whatever you like with your hands, whatever helps you to balance. 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 0. I know you probably wanted to have a seat by now. If you did these exercises, you certainly will be. I'm going to do one more exercise standing up before we get started. So I'd like for you to grab your rubber band. I'd like for you to step on the end of one band with your right foot, right? And then hold the other end of the band with your right hand. The thumb should be facing up. Then grab your left hand. With your left hand, grab the band underneath your right hand. And then I'm going to ask you for you to do a few things. I like to make sure your shoulders are nice and stable before you do any of these exercises. Lift the shoulders up. Pull the shoulders back. Pull the shoulders down so they're in set position. Nice and safe, ready to work. You're going to stretch the hands away from your torso and keep the shoulders in that position the whole time. So you cannot disengage the shoulders by letting them rise. Keep them down the whole time. We're going to raise it as high up as we can. Some of you may be able to go all the way up. Some of you might be able to only do a little bit of a movement. Regardless, just do your best and you'll get good results from it. Keep the hand away from the chest. We're going to count a multiple of 3 for this one. Starting from 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, really keep those shoulders down, 27 and 30. Good. Shake your shoulders out, a little wiggle, and then replace the band to your left hand. Step on the end of the band with your left foot and grab the top of the band with the left hand, thumb up. Grab underneath now with your right hand, pull the shoulders up, back and down, keep them in position. Stretch the hands away from your chest, and we'll start back from 30, 27, 24, 21, 18, 15. I'm having trouble concentrating here. You can't see them right now. 12, 9, but there's a cat here that's really trying to get my attention. 6, 3, and 0. Okay, you can let go of that band, release it, shake the shoulders out one more time. We've just got a few more to do, and we're going to have those exercises done sitting down on the chair. So why don't you go ahead and grab your chair. We're going to have a seat. The further back you sit on the chair, this is the offending character right here who's been giving me trouble all this time. I'll let you out later. So the further forward you sit on the chair, the harder the movement's going to be because I have less support underneath my thoughts. The further back in your chair to sit, the easier the movement's going to be because you have more support. So you can choose for yourself what's better for you. You will need 2 objects. They don't even have to be the same size. I chose these deliberately because they were different sizes. They could be the same size. They can be pillows or balls or books. As long as you can hold on to one of them between your knees. This is above my knee, not in between and not below, just above the knee. So I'm having to use my adductors and inner thighs to support it and keep it in place. Then I'm going to grab the other object and put it in between my feet. Yeah, so really having to squeeze in the whole time. I'm going to grip this chair for support, the sides of the chair. You can lean back, that makes it easier. You can lean forward, that makes it harder. So again, make the adjustments appropriately. We're going to pick up our knees just so that our feet are just off the ground. And for those of you who find this very difficult, by the way, you can do just a small little movement and lean back. But for everyone else, we're just going to let those feet hover off the ground. We're going to extend all the way. And we're going to say 1, 2, 3 for every multiple, so we've got to hold it. That's what makes it difficult. We've got to hold it for long periods of time. We're going to do a multiple of 8 for this one. We'll start at 0, 2, 3, and then drop the feet. Repeat. Don't take too much rest. 8, 2, 3. And again. 16, 2, 3. 24, 2, 3. 32, 2, 3. I want you to really, 40, squeeze this thighs hard, 2, 3. Every time you extend the knee. 48, 2, 3. 56, 2, 3. 64, 2, 3. 72, 2, 3. And last but not least, 80, 2, 3. Now I know what you're thinking right now. That was so much fun that you want to do it again. So just for you, I'll do it again. We're going to count backwards from 80 for this one. Let's get it done. 80, 2, 3. 72, 2, 3. 64, 2, 3. 56, 2, 3. 48, 2, 3. 40, 2, 3. 32, 2, 3. 24, 2, 3. 16, 2, 3. 8, 2, 3. And 0, 2, 3. Yes, you can let go of those balls. So we're going to do one more exercise and then a couple stretches, and that'll be all you need to do for the day. If you like this workout, you can repeat it on other days. Let's grab this rubber band. If you don't have a rubber band at home, really the rubber band lets you stretch and work through a range of motion. But if you use a towel and you pull on the towel, at least you're engaging the same muscles that you'd be working otherwise. So it makes a big difference. I'd certainly use that if you don't have a rubber band. It's a lot better than not having anything at all. So let's lift those arms overhead. And again, if you have trouble with range of motion, you can only bring your hand here or here or here. Do what is best for your body. Do what you can. But I'm going to ask that if you can, raise those arms all the way up. What we're going to do is extend one leg, really squeeze the front of the thigh, squeeze it hard so you're using it. You're going to strengthen it this way, and then drop it down and alternate with the other leg. Every time we extend one leg, we're going to pull on the towel or pull on the band. And this will be the last multiple for the day, so we might as well make that a nice, easy 9. We'll start from 0, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. Great. Since you've worked so hard, I won't have you do another one of those. Although if you'd like to pause and count backwards from 90, by all means, you can certainly do that. We'll do 2 stretches. I want you to sit close to the edge of your chair and really widen your feet like this. I'm going to show you from the side so you can watch what my low back and spine are doing as well. Once your feet are wide set, I want you to raise those arms up. Again, if you have trouble raising the arms up, at least raise the chest up, extend the spine, and look up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And then slowly drop the arms, place them on your thighs. As you're breathing out, we're going to fold from the hip. I'm not going to let my spine flex yet. I'm going to fold from the hip, supporting my upper body weight on my thighs. I'm going to fold as far forward as I can get. And if you're really honest about this, you'll feel a light stretch in your groin already, maybe in your low back. Then I want you to reach down to the floor with your hands and go as low as you can, folding from the hip until you have no choice but to allow your spine to flex a little bit. Now that's okay because at this point we have lots of support with our hands. We're going to take one deep breath in and out in this position. And then we're going to push yourselves back up, draw the chest up, extend your spine, pull your tailbone back. If you can, raise the arms up in the air, take a deep breath in, and release. Repeat. We do that 3 times. I like to do multiples for these. Go as low as you can. With each subsequent repetition, you can try to go a little bit lower into the stretch at the bottom, or try to stretch their arms up a little higher or a little further back, get your chest up a little higher. Try to make improvements as you go along. We'll do one more of those. Deep breath in, breathe out, and then rise up. Good. And last but not least, we're going to do a hamstring stretch. This is a favorite with the group classes that I run. I want you to straighten out your right leg. I want you to tuck your toe towards your knee. And then I'd like for you to let your hand slide down your right thigh. If you need additional support, place your left elbow on your left thigh. Try to keep your back straight as long as you can. Go as far as you can. Breathing in. And then don't hold it yet. Breathe out. We'll do that 4 times. Go as low as you can, taking a deep breath in for the duration of the reach. And then release it. So number 3. And one more. Number 4. Now the 4th and final one, we're going to hold that for 3 deep breaths while we hold the position. So 1. Try to go a little deeper with each breath out. 2. And 3. Wonderful. Let's relax that leg. The final movement for the day. Stretch out your left foot, tuck the toe in towards your knee, and rest your right elbow on your right thigh. We'll start moving forward for 1, and release. And of course, the first stretch, the first time you do this, 2, it's going to feel really tight, even though we're warm from our exercise. 3, but with each subsequent reach, you find that it feels a little better, gets a little bit easier. I'm not saying that means it's going to be easy, but it's going to be easier. This is the 4th one. We're going to take 4 deep breaths in and out, or 3 or 4 deep breaths in and out. For 1, 2, and 3. Right. So that is today's workout, Seniors Edition. I hope you enjoyed actually getting to follow along in real time. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if I get enough good feedback on this, I'll put out more live or long duration videos for you. Have a great day, everyone.